middle-aged musician here, and hope you've had a very enjoyable and safe Christmas. And look forward to a Happy New Year for everyone. It's certainly been a very interesting New Year, of course, and I'm not going to beat that drum. I think there are plenty of other people that'll do that and have done it for us all year long, more or less. But I do want to wish you a Happy New Year. So today's podcast or episode is about friendship, and not necessarily because of the nostalgia, but because of the situation. Often when I'm recording these, I'm driving to and from gigs or traveling for whatever reason. And this week I am actually not at the gigs that I booked for a couple of reasons. Number one, had a gig that kind of my standing gig, and you heard me talk about this before, outdoor type program, and I actually was taking off this week from there, and during that time had gotten a call to do another gig for a friend of mine, fill in for him. And then earlier this week in the state that I live in, earlier last week I should say, we received news from the governor that they were going back into a semi-shutdown, which would affect a lot of venues. This particular venue was going to be able to avoid the shutdown per se. They had an option, but the owners and the managers of the venue decided it'd be better if they just didn't. So they decided to cancel the gig. So I had a choice to make to go back and actually pick up my old gig and cancel out the person that I had actually subcontracted to handle this for me, but decided that she'd already prepared. She was expecting the revenue, she was expecting the opportunity, and had prepped the venue as well that she'd be coming. And so I decided to go ahead and have her do this. Now, a couple of things, that to a certain degree would speak to my friendship to her, not going back on what we had originally agreed to, but also her friendship to me. Today, I think when they arrived at the venue, again, it's an outdoor venue, and that's the way that they do things. They've had the option of going indoors, but it's a campground. They like the atmosphere of being outdoors, and so it's pretty interesting. But anyhow, she arrived at about 27 degrees and snow, so pretty important that I treat her well, because I want to make sure that she will come and do other gigs for me in my place, and also appreciate the fact that she's willing to do this. A lot of young female artists wouldn't put themselves through this type of thing, and this particular artist, this is not her necessarily her favorite type of venue, I think, but she's filled in for me multiple times. She's done a great job. In fact, she even got another booking, another gig that I didn't even get, because she did such a great job. So it was really cool to see that happen, and I'm glad to allow it as well. So I wanted to maybe give a couple of ideas here, tips, advice on working with other people and friendships. And the number one thing is, if you give your word on something, keep your word. Your word is really important, and if you are someone that I can't depend on when you tell me you're going to do something, as I've said in other episodes, then really your word's worthless to me, and eventually I'm going to stop calling you. Secondly, find people that you can work with and be consistent and faithful with them. There's no need and no reason for anyone not to have some touring partners especially when you're at the stage in the industry that I'm in. I regularly will ask people, hey, if you need someone to open for you, let me know. If it's possible, I'll do it for free. If not, if I can just cover my expenses or what have you, certainly the exposure, especially if it's someone who draws a good crowd, the exposure is worth it. And you develop a friendship there. Who knows, they may be in a situation where they need to cancel a gig, and then if they find out that you're dependable and that you're pretty good at what you do, then you may get the nod and the call as well. Another consistency on friendships within the industry is that you need someone to watch your back and to kind of help you navigate the waters. And especially as you get older, in the industry, or you're very young and new to the industry. So when you're really young and new, typically you're very naive, and those who are in the biz will take advantage of that. Not all, but some. And when you get older, you get discriminated against unless you're just a really powerhouse kind of a musician like a Clapton or somebody that can carry the weight. There's a guy that I like to listen to, Scott Kirby. He's in his 60s, and he just does what he does, and he has honed his craft over the years. Really an inspiration to me. So I think having that extra person to bounce ideas off of, and having someone that you can sort of confide in, ask questions, and feel like they will be truthful with you, but also be kind and kind of shepherd you along. Even some of the young artists, I look to them for advice because they're really on the cutting edge of the technology. I just don't have the time to try to keep up with all of it either, too. So, anyhow, kind of a brief episode today. Just wanted to give you an update there. I think I said in the last episode that we had escaped the COVID. Well, unfortunately, that didn't last. My wife, both my in-laws, or several of my in-laws, I should say, have unfortunately fell victim to it. One particular in-law spent about 20 days in the hospital. So just a heads up, take care of your body. I'm always a germaphobe anyhow, so wearing a mask and washing my hands is perfectly fine with me. But at the same time, being courteous and kind to others and considerate as well is always in fashion, no matter what, whether it's germs or driving or a restaurant. So that would be kind of my health tip of the day. Thanks a lot. Again, making this a shorter episode just mainly because I wanted to get a couple of things out there, and I'm working pretty feverishly now at home trying to get straightened up. I'm taking some time off and looking at what 21 is going to hold. Also, by mentioning that, good possibility that we'll be doing a west run out toward the Grand Canyon. So looking for some opportunities to play on the way out and on the way back. Just maybe some coffee houses or some places where I can set up and play, even if the venues are not high-paying gigs, if make a little bit of money just to cover my gas and food and things like that, and that'd be perfectly fine too. So, hey, thanks a lot. Be safe, be well, and we'll look forward to hearing from you in the new year.